Look at you, baby dolls. Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news. Bitcoin is still sitting around $63,500. The green monthly September candle is still blessing us. That's right, friends, blessing us. At least we are doing nothing at 63,500 instead of 53,000. That is the alternative, and I'm sure we're glad that we're here. Now, pumpkins, I have some actual very juicy news for you today. So, Roca Negra now owns 359,000 Bitcoin. So they're going to keep accumulating it. It's very obvious what's going to happen. They're going to get everyone's Bitcoin. They're going to get more size. They're going to do what they do with the gold ETF. And you want to know what they did with the gold ETF? I've made many videos on it, but just to let you know again. With the gold ETF, friends, they started implementing little advantages to have paper gold instead of normal gold. And they basically got to the point where you can't have real gold, okay? Because you'll miss out on so many things. So what do they let you do? Cross-collateral, extra borrowing, more credits, cheaper home loan rates. Basically, you just get so many advantages in the traditional, TradFi system. So imagine you had like 50 grand of gold or whatever. Well, if you had it in real gold, they won't count that as being able to like lower your interest rate for your mortgage or whatever. However, if you had paper gold, you can link it to your bank account and they basically say, oh, wow, you own this asset. You have the ETF. Okay, sweet. We will count that gold. We'll give you like, 80% of it, 80% of its value. So you're like, oh, wow, so sweet. I don't have to borrow as much, or I don't have as much of an interest rate as everyone else. As you can see, friends, they also let you do leverage and all these other things on it. So it increases your credit and everything. So that helps you as well, right? So if you imagine you're on the brink, imagine you're worth $900,000, and to be an accredited investor, you need $1 million. Well, if you have $1 million, $100,000 of spot gold, not going to count it, okay? But if you have $100,000 of paper gold, they do count it. So as you can see, they have all these advantages out here, and also tax reporting advantages, like a nightmare with the other one. So you can see they stack up all these things. They make ETF way more nicer for people to do all their taxes and everything else out here. So that's probably what they're going to do with Bitcoin. That's why Roca Negra is going to continue accumulating on behalf of everyone. Once they have a big fat giant stack and they can see that they have public opinion, it could be 1 year, it could be 5 years, friends. It won't be 1 year, but it'll be like probably next bear market. Who knows? They'll eventually get to the point where they go, oh, wow, we want to ban self-custody. We want to ban self-custody. The people are on our side, right? So as you can see, you know where this is all going. And also, friends, I've got more news for you. The corrupt SEC has now said that crypto mining devices are securities. And I do have a clown emoji there for them. And we have the news right here, friends. It's actually true, right? So crypto mining boxes are securities, court says in SEC. Okay, so obviously very, very corrupt SEC. Just to keep you in the know, friends, remember, you have the US Fed. They have private owners, okay? Evil central banking scum, total control of the population. Why? Because our currency, 50% of the transaction is the fiat currency that they control. Okay, we know that. Old news. Now, you have Goldman Slugs, you have JP Mosquito. They're private owners of the US Fed. There's many others out here that don't tell you all the names. You can't even find them out, pretty much. You got to, like, deduce, reverse engineer it, okay? So you have all these private owners. And now what do they want to do? Control the population. They have to make sure that they have total control of the currency at all time. It's their only power. It's literally their only power. They control the money. But with that power, like that's a lot of damage they can do, right? Friends, it's just like with altcoin shillers. If you mint a shitcoin and then you start paying 20 KOLs to say this DeFi utility token is going to take over the world, you know what I mean? They can make any case for that because they're getting paid, right? We already see it with a lot of the pump fund and all the other scum out there, right? But now imagine you were the US dollar maker. Imagine if you just had currency. What would you do? What are their KOLs? Well, they have like economists. They have people at the universities. They bribe the universities. Friends, they literally morph universities in their minds. They basically tilt everything in the favor of themselves. I don't know if you guys saw recently the universities, like all the professors, literally 99% of the professors lean like almost nearly 100% Democrats. So they have their own, they're all like a blue wave in every single university out there, especially in America. So it's obvious why. It's because, now here's the thing, right? Sure, maybe universities when you're young, it's very liberal and stuff, whatever. But it's very, very, like, it's obvious they have an incentive to keep it that way, because what do these like type of liberal guys, type of thing, guys and girls or whatever they are, they always have that same view where it's like, well, we can keep printing money. Give the government total control. They are just looking after our mental health, when they show that you can't look at how the Jenga towers fell or anything else that I report on that gets shadow banned, okay? So like, oh, it's for your mental health, you see? And it's obviously a slippery slope to hell. Now, the corrupt SEC is one of their puppet wing arms, okay? So look at this is a word from Green United. Green United contested the allegations in an emailed statement at the time the enforcement action was filed. The suit doesn't contain a single allegation of a single victim or even an investor losing any money, it said. Additionally, they try to change the law by classifying hosted mining as a security, a practice performed by numerous public companies, Green United said. So the corrupt SEC is extremely corrupt. They're doing this, friends. They're really trying to go for all these things, right? So no one lost money. It's so obvious, man. Capricious. Like, the own judge is saying, wow, man, like, I better not side with you guys as a judge, because the people are going to get my neck too. Okay, so very evil, corrupt organization, helping nobody. And yes, what do we do from here? Well, you just acknowledge that they're rotten and evil. People who work for the corrupt SEC, all rotten and evil. We know who they follow, friends. It's a rotating door. They don't get direct funding. They just get fed instructions. They go, hey, follow the instructions, and then you'll make it to the top here. So no one respects the corrupt SEC. Not even the bug eaters respect you, dude. You're literally the cockroach henchman. So they just have to promise you deals. Now to smooth it up, friends. At least we're not going down. How about that? At least we're not going down. We are in this Bitcoin range in what seems like forever, but we kind of learn, friends. Like, it's about that September month, isn't it? You need a clear September, then you can go up. So, you know, if we had our halvening was April this year, I think the next one might be in like a Feb or a March. So you think it's bad now? My gosh, that might be hell in 2028. You got to wait till September for that finally to be done. So this is the weekly chart for Bitcoin. This is it coming out now. I just drew this circle of friendship up here. We're still green on the weekly super chain. Nice thing is, though, we are now finally back above the 21 EMA. Like, so if you're a momentum trader, you got to take your shot now. This is it. You get in now. Okay, but just tell you, okay, why am I telling you now? It's because, okay, this one, false signal. False signal, false signal, false signal, and false signal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think, okay, 6th time lucky. Everyone go truck yourself, because 5 false signals, friends. But, you know, we're not doing that, because if you did that before, you literally got stopped out 5 times. So now you got to literally, you almost got to put 100x long to make up for it. Don't do this stuff, friends. I'm just showing you that's a life of a leverage trader. And they're looking for these entries and these exits and all these. I mean, God bless you. Okay, maybe you got to move $30 million of liquidity, but for the rest of us, man, you don't need to, friends. You're looking at your altcoins. You're in. We're frustrated. We want them to go up, but you're in the right place, man. These people don't know. They don't have no idea what to do once they start seeing the candles go up the way they're going to go up. This is the weekly Bitcoin dominance chart. Of course, waiting for it to finally top out. Could go up. I mean, like, it's game over, bro. Like, it's just too many signs, friends. Too many signs. I feel like this is what the top's going to be like. I'm going to be like, man, we got a Richard Hart tattoo over here. We got Jim Cramer's calling for Bitcoin to flip gold. You know, we got 3 countries adopted you. And it's just the mania's going, the roller coaster's going. And I'm just going to be sitting here like, man, what else is after this? Like, we got a lot, man. We literally have a lot. Don't let people convince you that we didn't get a lot. So just make sure you're like in a healthy position, right? So hopefully that healthy position involves some stable coins. Trust me, friends, I follow everyone, man. I follow a lot of people. And I love when you guys show me, hey, this guy calls his up. Friends, trust me, I've been looking for a golden goose. I've been looking for a golden goose since day one. And trust me, I've watched guys make a big call and I track them straight away. And I'm like, whoa, what about his other calls? How does he think? And then when I come and plot it out, I'm like, oh, they all end up being around 50 to 70% win rate, just like everything else, okay? And friends, you can't look. If you're trying to pick bottoms and tops in extreme points, you you run the risk of being really, really wrong. And then if you want, because you can keep going, right? But if you wait for the confirmation, I mean, it's not that easy, right? I'll even remind you, Uncle Bobby Lucas was calling for $100,000 $180,000 Bitcoin back in 2021. Okay, so I just want to show you this. So this is the monthly chart, okay? So he was calling for 180K, but when, friends, we had confirmed down here in January 2022, he was now bearish. Now, you might say, oh, but that's good. And by the way, it is good because the next 300 days, the next 10 months were hell. Next 10 to 12 months were hell. But here's the thing, man. By the time we had confirmed that it was over, altcoins were down 70% here, man. So imagine you had a $1 million portfolio, but everyone's saying, actually, let's use better numbers than that, okay? Let's say you had a $300,000 portfolio and Bitcoin here was 60K. So everyone was expecting 180, right? So you have 330K pretty much. You're expecting to have $1 million at the top. So this is what happens, friends. This is why everyone thinks they're a genius. No. This is what happens, right? So I'm going to write it here. You've got 330K, okay? You're expecting up 1 million up here. Your portfolio is going to hit 1 million. But actually what happens is, all right, we confirm back down. So you don't have 330K anymore. So this is 330. Okay, you actually down here, friends, let's actually do that number. People, you now have, okay, you have literally around 200 actually. You have around 200 if you're in Bitcoin. Everyone's in altcoins. So you don't actually have 330. Most likely you've actually got like, if you do that, ouch, friends, you've actually got 99,000. Okay, so you've only got 30% of that. So you have, let's just write 100K. Okay, and down here, friends, just to show you, everyone's drawn this, okay? They've got, don't worry, we're bouncing. We're bouncing. But look what ended up happening. We just crashed back down. So you're 100K, unfortunately, it drops another, like, you lose 3/4 of it again. That's altcoins. Ouch, right? Now you're 100K, now you're down to 25K. Look where we started, by the way. You started with about 330,000, expecting 1 million, but now you have 30,000. And you're still, most people are still at 30,000, by the way. Do you see? You've dropped 90% from that point. And that's altcoins. Altcoins are down 90%, right? Some are down 70, some are down 80, some are down whatever, 99, right? But average is 90%. Most of the altcoins from back here. Now, when I talk about this, many people say, no, but there's new altcoin stuff. No, Habibi. You are talking about BitTensor and all these new things that appeared here. So you are now an old, like when you hold through 2025 with me, friends, by the time 2028 comes, you are no longer the new kid on the block, Habib. You're the old coin again. You're now a cycle 2 coin. So you are now trapped with everybody else. Trapped. You see, so that's how it happens. So I literally just showed you, but here's the thing. By the time Uncle Bobby Lucas confirmed it, it was down here. Okay, you were already down, friends. You're 330K, you're down to 100 for your altcoins. So that is Chainlink $18, for example. Chainlink around $18. And then Chainlink at the bottom hit like 5, 6. You see? You see how devastating it is, friends? That's what happens, man. That's what happens. So that's why I have been yelling like an absolute peanut brain, which I am, that you just got to go turbo long, turbo long, turbo long. You literally got to go turbo long. And I've even told people, some people say, oh, I don't like paying tax. That's what they say. I go, how about, bro, why don't you like paying tax? You want to give them a government money? Okay, you've got, say, 10 grand in crypto. Go add another 3 grand in right now. That's your tax payment. So instead of you don't want to give away 30%, add 30%. Okay, or add 50% to make it mathematically right. You go, okay, that's for the government. You see, but you got to do that early, not at the end in the leverage position part. So I just wanted to give you a perspective of the cycle, friends, and that's actually how things turn. Now, we haven't trapped enough people to do that because you haven't even been seeing big numbers, right? But those big numbers don't come unless people come in. But also, it does make me concerned when you see things like Van X says Soylana will reach 50% of ETH's market cap. Now, this is why it's, hey, that's not big, friends. When a big ETF thing guy fund is calling for a big target, do you want to know how big that target is, friends? That's only 2x away. That's literally only 2x away. So I'm just going to show you the chart. This is Soylana ETH. Okay, it's Sol versus ETH ratio. Actually, write it here so you just know. Sol ETH ratio. Now, it is pointing up, isn't it? It is pointing up, but they're calling for this number up here. Okay, they're calling for it up here. I'm a bit concerned. It reminds me of like 2021. We're at 60K. And then you had JP Mosquito calling for 120. You know? Yeah, there was Citibank calling for 400K, but you still had big ones calling. You're like, that's weird. I know you are not to be trusted. If you're calling for 120 and it's only 2x away, that means you're actually like, you're definitely selling now. Your target is 2x higher about where you want to sell. So that's just something that makes me concerned. Now, it is moving up in this little, this wedge part up, but this is Soylana ETH, friends. I mean, like, even if it hits the target, you only get a 2x on your ETH, man. A 2x. If you put 1 ETH today and hits the target, it becomes 2 ETH. But then if PulseChain just goes back to its May 2023 price, you get 10. Literally 10 times on your ETH. That's how cheap it is. So you're here to look for deepest value contrarian. Now, before I even check out some altcoin prices, friends, man, it's all the same thing, man. Everything is correlated. I know everyone has like their own cute little coin pack. They're like, what about this coin? What about this coin? Doesn't matter, man. Ethereum is not at $4,000. That's it. I want everything to start at 3.5, but you know, you need it to go up more. You especially need the Mr. Russell, friends. Mr. Russell, this is the Mr. Russell chart. It actually ticked down, but we're waiting for that US election. It just feels like we're waiting for the US election for Mr. Russell because it's small caps. It's kind of like, you don't want to invest in a small cap company super hard because if Donald Trump doesn't win, you've got Kamala Krappus, who's like a high tax type of comrade chick. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, maybe. So you're going to be more inflationary. That's how the market prices it in, by the way. So the market goes, okay, Democrats, you are more inflationary. Cost of living goes up more. Companies probably have to pay higher taxes. So speculative stuff. So like, you know, small cap poop coins, your odds of doing really well, we don't want to get too excited yet. That's why people they really want to wait for these policy decisions, okay? So Mr. Russell, the small caps, we're still waiting for that expansion out there. Now in PulseChain land, friends, here's just the spear coins. You have PLS still grinding along. Still needs to round off here. Maybe there's one more push down. I mean, who knows? You have PulseX as well. You have HEX as well, having some nice strength. HEX, friends, this is how strong you can see it is. It reversed on the HEX PLS ratio, just shooting up here. Now, normally with these, by the way, so there's a moving average line here. Normally, they come back and they touch the line. Maybe there's another one. But as you can see, the cores, PulseX, and PHEX, and they oscillate very, very safely. They just move around. So I saw a few people, they're thinking it's like some sort of cheat code. They're like, wow, you're amazing. But yeah, but look at this, man. HEX from here, you're up 65% against Pulse, for example. So you have less volatility. You have less volatility in terms of like, you know, your risk to the downside. But you got a 65% on your Pulse, and that's like an enormous move, and everyone's taking profit already, okay? So I just want to show you, like, if you go look at Pika on PulseChain, friends, now this is like a daily chart, okay? When this is like, if you're just buying it here, man, like, you're already 65% here. You can't even see that move. So even if Pika on PulseChain, this is the Pika to PLS ratio, friends, if it goes and it does something like this, where it goes up to like 500, okay? Look how much you've made. You've made 800% on your Pulse. Compare 65% to 800%. You see what I mean? So, but here's the thing, you get more risk. They're like, okay, well, that's the thing, right? But then your job here is to lower your risk, lower your fear of uncertainty. You know, everyone in the world says HEX is super risky and PulseChain is super risky. They say it's failed chain, blah, 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 blah. So what they think is you're going to lose all your ETH value in it. But that's why you're here doing research. You realize, oh, there's a community. Everyone tags it. There's a cult. There's 2 conferences every year. Matty Allen hosting the conferences, the 172 content creators, 72 streamers. Okay, so we have all different flavors of stuff coming out here, and you're like, wow, you guys went like ballistic over a coin that's still down 99% because it did a little 2x. Yeah, we'll bro, if we went ballistic loud at a shitty little 2x off the low there and it's still down 99% from the top, okay, what are they going to be doing? It's down 98% now. What are they going to be doing when it's only down 90%? which is another 5x from here. Man, everyone's going to lose their mind. So as you can see, friends, it's going to grab a lot of attention. That's what you're trying to price in for yourself here. But of course, you're probably already in, and that's why the thesis is still the same. Now, baby dolls, I saw some FUD out there from some other cope influencers. Okay, friends, it's just, every time someone posts something like this, because they have more followers or whatever, more subscribers, people don't think someone's got more numbers, but that they're necessarily smarter or they're more correct. They're not. Okay, they're just able to speak to a lot more people. Okay, so that's all it is, friends. I mean, look at politicians, right? They're the perfect vehicle. Everyone knows their name. Does that mean like you would trust them? No. So when it comes to these, every time there's conflicting views from someone else, they always post this same chart. And I got to solve it here for you. Now, people don't know what they're doing. So what they do is, friends, they'll type in total 3 and they'll type in minus USDT. So what they do is, friends, they look at this chart and they go, wow, I have data here, but look at it, man. It only starts in 2017. And what I'll now do, friends, is do that same total 3 divided by into Bitcoin's market cap as a ratio. So you'll see this chart going around, and everyone says it all the time. They tell me the old coins are going down. All right, bro. Okay. Firstly, why do you start from 2017? You're telling me that the world was Jesus born in 2017 or something like this? Did something happen in 2017? Why is that important? I'll automatically know. Why are you only starting from 2017? I figure out, because your friend Sommi's got a peanut brain. Oh, because they're typing in minus USDT, it's only plugging in the data that includes every USDT point. So what they do, friends, is they do this every time. They go, whoa, this is an oscillator. Old coins are going to go down. So what they're basically saying is, I know it doesn't look like much and I'm having fun here, but what they're basically saying is, everyone's saying, you see this line here? Well, what they basically people are saying is altcoins, friends, are going to go down another 40% worse than whatever Bitcoin does. So if Bitcoin drops like 50%, my gosh, the altcoin's going to drop another 80%. That's what effectively that they're saying. Okay, then you could have the scenario where Bitcoin goes up at 2x and then altcoins can only go up 50% or whatever. You do have that scenario. Okay, but the types of people who post this, they're not necessarily the bull types, if you know what I mean. It's always the downside part, because that's possible too. You can get a ratio crash down here if Bitcoin jumps to 120K, but let's say Cardanzo is 30 cents, it only goes to 45 cents. So if Cardanzo does 50%, but Bitcoin does 2x. So if all altcoins do that. Now, what they do now is they basically want to think that you're a genius and they do this. And then for some reason, no matter how many times I post this, they still don't get it. I use the others index. It removes the trashy stable coins. Okay, it removes them. It's outside top 10. It's the risky part of the curve. It's not the belly of the curve of altcoins with the market caps. It's the risky part. Now, friends, look, if you use their chart, all you're going to see is, you're not even going to see this higher, by the way. See how they start at 2017? So all they see is this. They go, wow, you're going to go down. That's what they say. But if you use my chart, others BTC, look, what are you noticing here, friends? You're noticing an uptrend. Interesting. Now, what does that mean, friends? I've gone through videos of this. I've shown you every single crypto person, Randy Boo, Miles, every single Ivan, they should be showing their audience this. They should be showing them this, okay? So they should be hiring me for this. It's not even funny. You should be showing your audience this chart. What does it mean? What does this chart mean? It means altcoins have been chipping away at Bitcoin's shine over time. We are discovering use cases in crypto with each 4-year interval, which is adding permanent stores of value that is overcoming Bitcoin slowly. So what does this number down here mean? It means, look at this, see that says 0.01 on the right-hand side, friends, right here. That means others were only 1% of Bitcoin's market cap. Then in the last bear market, we went to 9. We went from 1, now we're 9%. Today, we're 18%, friends. We're actually 18%. And if you go to the top, we were 48% in the 2021 top. So if this continues going up, which is what it's showing you, it's showing Bitcoin's market cap, the dominance keeps going down, okay? Because altcoins, the risky part of altcoins, they're taking basically the lowest hanging fruit in terms of market cap and stores of value and stuff. So essentially, they're borrowing, I guess, what they see happening in Bitcoin. They say, oh, maybe there's payments, maybe there's DEXs, maybe there's layer 1 coins, maybe there's governance tokens, whatever. Okay, maybe they're dog shit in terms of like trying to get you 100x, but they have value and people store value in them, okay? And they keep minting them. We keep minting them, friends. You see that? Friends, it's almost like you had a city's GDP, but every 10 years, there's a new groundbreaking technology. Let's say we made flying cars. And then let's say we made warp drive cars. So your city, maybe it had 10 million people in there, like it's New York or something, okay? When people now have flying cars and they can warp drive, they don't need to live in your city. Your GDP of your city is starting to lose to the other city. Maybe they make another city that's like, far away, but they can warp drive instantly into your city. So your business activity might be in your city or they do something in there, but they don't need to actually live there. Do you see what I mean, friends? That's exactly what's happening here. So altcoins are enhancing their technology over time, slowly chipping away, slowly. And that's what's happening, all right? And why doesn't anyone report on this? Because they know what's going on. It's like, God bless their hearts. It's not, no one's nefarious. It's just that they're getting paid too much not to do this 18-hour-a-day research here for you. So that's why in my picture, I'm here just telling you, if you're following FUD from other scum influencers selling you a grift alternative, then just look at my picture, man, because my picture is actually showing, friends, look, it's curling up. It's curling up. So as you can see, right, there's two different perspectives, what you want to take on that. And yes, the crypto industry, it's going to keep going up, friends. It's just like, look at gold's dominance to the stock market. Okay. People now store more value in Apple, Amazon, Tesla, network effects, global network effects than they do just gold. Okay. Now they have different properties, but in terms of dollar for dollar, they're moving more, even though they're centralized, they're moving more into the network effects, Amazon, Google, and all the tech stocks, okay? Now, if you understand these, friends, you'll really know the power of fluffy slippers here because it all comes down to the green candle. Look at these tarnished slippers, destroyed, crumpled, okay? So, as we move through this gaming crypto, friends, play some pump music as well. Get some pumpy green candles. No one's going to understand what the hell I'm talking about until others BTC is back up to like 30% or something. And then everyone's going to be like, golly gee, have you seen the guy with the Pikachu hat? He's got other hats too. That's what's going to happen, man. Happened 4 years ago. It's going to happen again. And yes, we look forward to that. I also want to show you, friends, Icosa as slingshot leverage on HEX, right? Icosa up 12%, HEX up 6%. It's wonderful to see these things play out. Remember, everyone's on the risk curve, man. Everyone's on the risk curve. It's just what everyone's yelling about. They're yelling about what they're comfortable sleeping at night with. That's what they're doing. Okay, and then there's con men out here trying to tell you that they're all in on a poop coin. They're all in when really they're not. That's all it is, friends. Bitcoin maxis sleep comfortably with just Bitcoin. Yes, Ethereum maxis, same thing with Ethereum, okay? PulseChain maxis, same thing. We're going along the risk curve. And then you have meme coiners and stuff. Yeah, they really believe in the meme coins. And you might say, oh, that's crazy and stupid. Yeah, but 4 years ago, people were saying the same thing. They'll say the same thing. So if it doesn't work out, you're like, oh, well, you squandered an easy 5x in like Ethereum. You squandered it. Yeah, but if it does work out, you're going to look at them like, oh, wow, you made 250x. So that's the risk and reward people are willing to take. That's why you just got to analyze this for yourself. It is nice to see, though, when you see green in one, you see green in the other. It's slingshot leverage. Friends, I know whenever I post about Icosa and HEX, also look at this guy saying, Mr. Crypto Space, why are you always referenced to Icosa and not Hedron? Remember, so just to minimize the tickers and the logos, when I say Icosa, it means Icosa and Hedron. But also, Hedron is more inflationary, okay? It's given for people with long-term stakes. So you just keep minting and dumping it. Icosa is not, but they're bonded anyway, and there's a ratio. So it easily gets really confusing. So it's just easy to throw everyone, hey, there's the smaller market cap one. This is not inflationary, so this is just easy. That's why. It's not more complicated than that. So, I mean, like, even when you see HEX pumping up, friends, and then you see Icosa, which is around here now, just chilling out, you can always look at that Icosa-HEX ratio. It's nice to see at least it's holding a floor. And these opportunities are rare, man, because you can't find much like these, friends. There are rare ones in crypto, but you might even want to touch them. Like, you can trade, there's an oscillation between XRP and Stellar. So you're like, boring times 2, right? Like, useless payment solution, and then a vegan version of that useless payment solution, which is Stellar, because they are the vegan version of XRP. So a lot of these things can oscillate. You can find this stuff, but there's no secret edge out here, friends. The secret edge is just knowing, oh, one's just slingshot leverage on the other. So yes, you don't often come across these. Also, crowd favorite, friends, incentive token, the greenest logo. So friends, this is the ink to pulse ratio. As you can see, it's been going literally sideways for like 6 months, 9 months. It's been going absolutely nowhere. And a lot of people want to know, hey, what's the ink target? What's the ink price target? Well, everything is a function of pulse. That's it. PulseX, HEX, both EHEX and PHEX, by the way, and ink, they're all a function of pulse. That's it. You see? How high is pulse going to go? And then you have a multiplier on that. So if pulse does a 10x, friends, so the range is, so I'll explain to you. So the range is whatever pulse does. If you're a pooper, you'll do like minus 50% against it in the bull market, which is like horrific, by the way. That's what Tron did against Ethereum. So Ethereum did like 12x and then Tron did like 6. That's basically, you got grifted. That's what it is in terms of like, it couldn't catch up to that and you took all that extra risk, okay? I shouldn't say you didn't get grifted. It's just like it just didn't work out. But was it worth taking? Yeah, because your multiplier is big if you get it right. So it can go minus 50% or it can go like up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 10x better than it. I just use as an average 3x here and I actually drew a rectangle. So see where we are today. So down here is minus 50%. Up here is plus 200%. So it's anywhere in this zone. So I'm just expecting, oh, that ratio is there. But here's the thing. You might ask, well, how high does pulse go? Well, you don't know, right? But if pulse does a 10, then ink will do 5 poopy or 30 amazing. You see? Pulse does the 10. And then it's up to you to try to figure out, hey, am I getting a cheap price? Is it worth taking that risk? See, with Tron, it wasn't worth taking the risk, was it? Last cycle. Because Ethereum smashed it, right? So, however, for other things, friends, like HEX gave you a 35x on ETH, for example. So that was huge. And just to show you, right, this is the others ETH ratio. If you go back to 2020, at the top of the bull market, friends, the others ETH ratio only did plus 50%. So the average altcoin in that top 100, and there are a lot of poopers there, whatever Ethereum did, they only did on average plus 50% better. So when Ethereum did 12, they all did 18x. That was in that last cycle. So if you did more than 50% against ETH, you beat that index. And what I'll now do is show you HEX versus Ethereum, friends. This is HEX ETH ratio. So you can't really see it here. So I'll have to do that. So exactly, if you go back exactly 4 years ago, here we are, September 2020. Look at this. To the top, HEX did a 22x against Ethereum. Huge. Huge. See? So 22x, compare that. The other one, the average one didn't even do 50%. But it was a unicorn, right? So that's why you're playing for that to happen again. And a friendly reminder that the bear market is absolutely no match for us, friends. So no matter what happens, you always got to be thinking about the soy boys around us. There's always a few soy boys. Are there a lot, though? I don't think so. I don't think there's a lot. They're not saying the stuff that makes me think they're all in. You don't have the Coinbase App Store ranking. You know when they'll come, friends. You know when they'll come. There'll be a lot of like, you got to remember, 4 years ago, crypto's a scam. But then if you roll forward 12 months, which is now September 2021, El Salvador is now adopting Bitcoin as the currency at $42,000, September 2021. So think about how fast it changed there. So we're looking at it today saying, well, it's a scam. We're never going up. Maybe in 12 months from now, we have Bhutan, Argentina, and Habibi come to Dubai. Maybe all three of them say, you know what? Bitcoin's legal tender or whatever it is. We're making it the official currency, whatever. Something like that, okay? If that happens, just be on the lookout. That's all. And like, it's not so easy. You can't just say, oh, sell in 12 months, because if you sold Sep 2021, friends, like, it's not nice and easy, because Look where Sep 2021 was for Doge, friends. If you sold here, you are down from the top 70% pretty much. Right? So, but then you had to get out because then it drops another 75%. So, and look, here's the thing. What are the odds someone, like you're seeing this chart, would you sell down here? Would you just sell this down here after witnessing that? 50, 70 cents, you got to sell. The right thing to do is to do that, but that's why it's a tough game. You can't just know the exact time to sell. Things moving in and out of sync. So hopefully, though, we get some justice and friendship. And no one wants to be this guy. Check it out. Bitcoin down to $2.70 a pop. So glad I didn't buy in on that mess. Damn, Bitcoin $2.70, huh, friends? What a ripoff. So I just want to show you that period of time if we actually go back. Let's actually go back all the way to $2.70. I want to show you what he was actually sitting to. That's why, friends, you can actually feel it here. Okay, back in right here, friends. So see this? It was right here. So up here, Da Vinci J15 and Richard Hart bought Bitcoin. So Da Vinci and Richard Hart bought at 30 bucks, pretty much, $30 Bitcoin. It spiked to $32 in there, and then dropped down here, okay? So it dropped all the way down at $2.70. What a mess. His post was October 25th. It was literally the intergalactic generational low, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you notice that, friends? 4 to 5 red monthly candles. What a mess. It's always a red monthly candle, isn't it? You knew it was. That's why I'm going back. I'm like, where's the red monthly candle? I know that guy's talking about a red monthly candle here, right? So think about now, though. Aren't there a lot of red monthly candles that we're seeing now? But, you know, when you look at this part, you got to be envious because you're like, man, you guys didn't have to wait long for it to come back. Yeah, but we can't play it like that, friends, because there was no industry back then. It was just an imaginary Fugazi, Ponzi internet cult. Literally internet cult. There's a random dude on the internet telling you to download files. Like, he could have been watching you diddle yourself or something, right? Which he could have been watching you make your own spaghetti in the kitchen, okay? That's called diddling. And that could have been made. Back then, no one had any concept of speculative bubbles, let alone speculative bubbles that pop and then become a bigger speculative bubble. No one's ever seen anything like that, right? So, yes, now we have an industry behind us. So you're not going to get your 3000x, okay? But you're way more aggressively long than people back then were. You're not putting in $100, you're putting in $1,000. You know, you're 10 times heavier. And the only way to make it through any of this hellhole, friends, is not to be Mr. Bitches. Mr. Bitches believes the FUD. You are not Mr. or Mrs. Bitches. You're not. You're very kind, nice, gentle soul. You're still going to be a warrior out there, friends, because trust me, when that next red monthly candle comes, everyone's going to say it's over. It might be around that 100K, man. It might be that it's over, and like, you're just going to have to believe. There's no other way about it. There's no magic indicator. We can't rely on anyone, friends. It's like I tell you, people always ask me, where's the bottom? Where's the bottom? Where's the bottom? And I say, Habib, we could be at the bottom now, but the bottom isn't a price. The bottom is a region of time. It's a process, okay? The bottom is a process. Just like, who's the winner? You see me? Like who won first place? Okay, but that person will tell you, yeah, first place, winning the trophy wasn't just rocking up today. It was a process of training. You see what I mean? That's victory. So if you want to like sell the top, not really about selling the top, you could, as long as you're just long in this time frame. If we're going to zero, well, trust me, we're going to zero. But if we wanted to send us a zero, it would have been like this before. You don't get this chance to get out 50,000 times. You see what I mean? So it's obviously big people are accumulating. But eventually, when we do clear up to these higher prices and altcoins reprice higher. So I would love, you know, let's say Bitcoin does a 3x from here. I'm hoping Ethereum does a 6x from here. I'm hoping PulseChain does like a 48x from here, or 24 to 48x, and I'm hoping the PulseChain altcoins do another multiplier on that. They do between 2 and 10 times higher than PulseChain. That could be anywhere from 50 to a 1000x. You see what I mean? But you're never going to get that 100% certainty. You just have to wait and play it out and see what happens. And you know, whenever this happens, people say, well, who's going to come buy your coin up that's 58x? Look, man, I've made videos on this. I've seen it. it's real. Okay? People will buy anything at any price if they think they can get a 2x on it. All right? Anything. If they can get a quick 2x. Bitcoin will have buyers once it clears 100K. They will want to sell at 200K. That's it. That is the momentum money. That is leverage traders. That's price discovery. You see? So we discover the new price. That's the process. We finally punch through the last of the sells. So we punch higher. And I'll show you now, okay? So we punch higher, friends. And then up here, basically, the big media narrative erupts. And then the market waits. All the big people with supply, no one just clicks market sell and gets out. And the type of people who do, they were out 10 years ago, who own a lot of Bitcoin. They're basically too emotional. They just get out on the way up, okay? And they regret it for life. So it goes up. The market's in the discovery process. Then the media erupts. And so everyone's yelling about which country is going to adopt. We're going to $1 million. All the stories and the bubbling and all these are basically smack up. You have Ethereum and all the altcoins smacking up. And all the people who have money out there, 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand, who want to throw in and make a quick 2 or 3x, they all come in. And the truth is, I've got to be a bit more lenient to them because in this mania, friends, they don't actually lose money. That's the truth. The truth is, these people who come in, they don't actually lose. You see, there are people here, they're putting in 5 grand. When they're on side 10x, they're going to have 50. But when they're on side 10x, someone's going to come in with 50 and just match their position size and try to make a 2x. They're all playing the same move. And these people, they actually do make money. That's the truth. The truth is they do make money. Why do they make money though? It's because the first wave of retailers get in, and because they make money, they now yell about it to the other non-believer retailers who also come in. And so these people come in with also heavy clips, and eventually, you know, 1, 2, 3 months or however long the mania lasts, it's over. But for the most part, everyone makes money at the start. Everyone makes money at the start. But I don't like talking about it because it paints this picture like you can rely on that period. You can't. Because 80% of the time the markets are ranging. It's just that 20% of the cycle. So 4-year cycle, yeah, there's a 6-month period where the breakouts are working. But picking the breakouts and waiting for it, it's basically literally nearly impossible. And you got to put on leverage and higher sizes. Just like the risk is like ridiculous if you're going to sit here and watch it every day. Luckily for us, we're not, friends. Luckily, we are protected by the power of kindness and friendship. Long-term holding, that's the only way to make it. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you in the next one.